Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Hey, Doc, what's going on?
I am super excited because guess what?
It is springtime.
Not yet. Of course, I didn't check to see how many days. It is
Debbie
February
Miller.
7th.
Yeah, Debbie Miller's knows that one. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be in the 40s today.
Okay, I can live through that one. That's beautiful.
Yes.
All the SNOW we had last week actually melted in my area, so that worked out great.
Same here, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So now it's just slushy outside.
Well, now I bet I know what you're super happy about, because you explained to us last week that the snow gets on top of the grass seed and layers it down and all that stuff. So when spring hits, your grass is actually going to be ready to roll.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I know. I don't think I ever went through that whole procedure, why the grass is so important. But even landscape companies tell you that we need to hope that we get a lot of snow this year. And I'm like, on what planet do you live, my friend? And that's what they always said. Hope for a nice amount of snow because it'll help your lawn in this area, that area, blah, blah, blah. And apparently that's really true.
Yes. And speaking of that, the other day I got a notice from our lawn guy saying, hey, I'll be out in the next few weeks. And I'm like, okay.
Optimistic thinking there, buddy.
Yeah. He does the front lawn. I do the back for my own. Yeah. So.
Well, with all the gardening though, you can't have chemical stuff back there. Is that the deal?
And then the dog, I don't want chemicals around the dog. So I have a weed patch kind of in some respects in some areas, and then others I don't. So
well, doesn't that help if you move your gardens around on all of those different locations? I would think that that would be a good idea because you have no chemicals at all back there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if you could move it, if it was easy to move your gardens around. But I mean, well, this year I am actually redoing everything. So, whoops, I forgot to turn off my phone. That would be bad if somebody called me.
That's not so good, yeah.
But yeah, we're revamping everything, and actually we're building some more raised beds. So really excited about that.
Oh, I bet.
16 feet of gardens. So yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work already.
It's easier in the raised beds. I've done the gardening in quote unquote garden beds with wood, just framework, and it's about 9 inches high, but the raised beds are so much easier because the soil warms up faster. And you actually have a lot more control over the type of soil that goes in there. So I can use my special recipe and actually have more control over how, everything grows, as opposed to in the ground, because in the ground you have to amend because we are heavy in clay in this area. You first have to amend, and it's always a balancing act. So
have you been finding, and even I've been noticing, which is obviously, how far the reach is if I notice, people are talking more and more and more and more about growing their own food.
Yes.
I have really, that's a topic of conversation in some of the groups I go to, and they wouldn't know our relationship necessarily because it's not this same network, but I'm out in the world and they say something about, this is my first year, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. So it does feel like it's a trend that's getting bigger and bigger.
Well, with prices rising and inflation happening, I actually, we always go organic as much as possible. I actually bought some lettuce because I haven't started my lettuce seeds yet, but I bought some lettuce the other day and it was close to $3 for one little bunch. And I'm just like, I got to get my garden going. Yeah, the cost is,
Plus, in my case, that little bunch, as you call it, would probably be my dinner salad. And that is redonkulous if that's the whole purpose of growing your own food. Yeah.
Yep. And so I actually a couple of weeks ago got my seeds. One packet of seeds will keep us fed, for a while. So plus whatever I save, actually last year I saved some romaine seeds, some romaine lettuce seeds. So we will be putting that in. And so, yeah.
Okay. So everybody please stop listening because this is a private conversation with Doc. I don't want you guys to know where I come from on this one. So you pick the lettuce, is that the end of that plant or does it redo itself?
No. It keeps on growing.
Okay. Well,
the
when you
outer
said it would,
leaves. I
when
picked
you
the
said it
outer
would feed
leaves.
your family with that pack of seeds, I
Oh.
thought that's a pretty small pack of seeds for 5 people. But so when you pick it, it does come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just think about it this way. I mean, one packet of seeds, I don't know how many, I mean, I'm saying a packet of seeds. I saved romaine seeds last year and I probably have 100 to 150 seeds at least. I
Oh my
can't count because they're
gosh.
so tiny. So I just spread those. Yeah. I mean, we could have lettuce coming out of our ears. So I guess, yeah.
Okay, so where are the seeds in a romaine stalk?
You let the romaine, and I don't think, let me look on my backgrounds. I don't think I have a picture on here yet. You let it go to seed and it flowers. And then after the flowers are done, that's where the seeds are held. So
Wow, I live in a box. I realized that, but that would
these
never
are
have.
onions, onion chives, I should say chives, garlic chives. You can see in the background the little black specks. So those are the seeds. Same concept. You let it flower and then you collect seeds. So I've got seeds coming out my ears.
Apparently you do, and I'm very happy for you, but this whole procedure that you keep talking about is like, wow.
Yes, and
I'm
I
starting
am
to appreciate stores more and more.
yeah. And I am one that saves my seeds. I save my seeds in my refrigerator. So I have my own little refrigerator for my seeds because they need to be cool and dry. And I store them in mason jars with it's not an oxygen absorber, but it's kind of like an oxygen absorber that keeps everything
So it does
fresh.
keep them dry even in the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Doc, you have a lot to teach us. Let's just go there.
Your head's gonna explode. But hey, guess what?
Well, I don't have to do seeds. Yay, let's go there.
I
Yes,
don't
what,
have a
Doc?
I don't have a background for this. We have 3 national days of for today, Monday, February 7th, 2022.
Okay, what are they?
The first one is clean out your computer day. I think it's giving me a message. I'm not even going to tell you how many of emails I need to clean out.
That would kill me.
Yes, your head would pop off for sure.
That would kill me. National Clean Out Your Computer Day. Okay, all right, I got it.
Okay, can you guess what the next national day is?
Oh, now this is lovely. Is it National Send Out a Card Day?
Yes, I bet you our faithful friend, Miss Grace Strawn would love to hear about that. I'm sure she knows it already. I haven't been on Facebook this morning, but I'm sure she probably already posted something about that.
Holy moly. All right. So there really is such a thing as National Send Out a Card Day. And I'm sure the Send Out Cards team will probably love to have that day, just as September 5th is always 9.5 day. So we have so much fun in the Congan-Water family. So I get that you get your own day kind of thing. So today is National Send Out Cards Day. And that is amazing.
Actually send a card. It's actually send a card to a friend. I'm just looking at my list, but still, yeah.
Right.
So, okay. And now are you ready for the drum roll? I think you will like this from what I remember.
Okay.
In some past conversations. It is National Fettuccine Alfredo Day.
I can go there because there's no meat in it, right?
Correct. Mine will have chicken. Yours will be like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I love that right off the bat. Pasta rocks my world. I think that Alfredo stuff, I know what that is, I think, but anyway, yes, I would like that probably. Now, is the green stuff parsley?
Yes, that's an Italian parsley.
Okay.
It's
All right,
flatter.
yes, I could go with that whole drill right there. In fact, it's making me hungry. So yes, I have to go now. And it was good to see
kind
you.
of getting hungry too.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I gotta go. That I could do that. National Alfredo Day, right?
Fettuccine Alfredo Day.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Fettuccine is the type of noodle. Alfredo is the sauce, and it's a Parmesan cream-based sauce.
Okay, then yes, I could go with that whole drill. Okay, and honestly, you would put chicken on that if you were doing it?
Yes, grilled chicken for sure.
Huh, okay. Yeah, because I'm one of those people, if I never saw meat again, I'd be okay. Now, I still like turkey and well, probably only turkey actually, but even so, I could handle that. And then
We could put turkey in there. Yeah.
yeah. And some people, when I say I don't do meat, and then I say I do salmon and shrimp and lobster, they're like, well, that kind of counts. And I don't think it actually does because that's fish. So I always have my deal, but I don't need it. But I do like lobster and shrimp and salmon and turkey, but that would probably be about it. I'd never just walk out and try and grill a big honking steak. I've seen people do this. The closer it gets to summer, people start literally saying, now we get to go on the grill, and they have all these great big things like half a cow kind of thing. They just throw it on the grill and they're so happy because they're smoking a big something. Oh my gosh, that is just not a good fit for me.
Well, I know you love the summertime, Queenie, and
I
you
do.
love the sunshine.
I do.
This is from a couple of years ago. This was,
Wow.
what are you doing? I'm just sitting here. Yeah,
Oh
just
my gosh.
working on
Yeah.
my tan.
Oh my goodness. And that really was exactly what I was doing too. And knowing me, it was probably between calls. So I've got 10 seconds. I got to use it up to the best of my ability. Yeah.
Yep.
I have to find a way to make my computer and my Zoom calls all day long outside. I started this morning, honestly, at 8:30 in the morning. And it's literally one of those things. And I've got several more calls today, tonight. I mean, honestly, and I just think I've got to get outside.
Yes. Well, and
Mhm.
I dug this up today. I was looking through some of my pictures, and this is one of our first posts. We had
Yeah.
a little movie thing that we put
Oh my
down.
gosh, that was even before you were doing reels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep. So
That is
yeah.
amazing. The closer we get to spring and summer, the more I keep thinking August, let's see, let's look for sure. August is going to be our second Doc and Queenie anniversary, which this year will be August 1st. So August 1st is when we started Doc and Queenie in 2020. So that is amazing. Once again, how fast time goes. March, April,
Totally.
May, June, July, August. Yeah, 6 months away. So literally, as fast as time goes for everything else, I'm sure this is going to just launch by as well.
Oh, it's just been incredible.
And can you
Incredible.
imagine when we do the second anniversary of Doc and Queenie, you are going to seriously be in the height of your garden buzz and all that stuff that you do, and knowing how to plant everybody something at this point. And that will probably be harvest time or start
Pretty
gearing down
close.
time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Close. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people that planted early with their tomatoes should be in by then. There'll be several things. But yeah, I'll probably be full of dirt and tired. It's a good tired though. That's the way
Oh, I was gonna
fresh
say,
air is
oh, being
nothing.
outside. Yeah, I think that's cool.
So
I really seriously do. I love that so much. And all the networking for me will obviously still be gearing up because even when people travel, now that we get to be on Zoom all day long, it's back to that same drill. Even when we travel, we can still do our calls, still network, and now network with other people. So I think this whole system is fascinating. And do you go out much now? Like, do you ever do your meetings in person? I know you have to do your garden consults, obviously, in someone's yard, but do you do your meeting or anything like that with them in person, or do you do it on Zoom calls?
I've had a few one-on-ones in person, but not many, local, of course. Duh. That was a funny statement, but
Yeah.
it's like I'm not used to saying that. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
local. No, I usually travel to California or
Well, I
Vegas
would
or,
vote for that. Yes,
you know,
I would vote for
um,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
not too many. Most of them are online.
Okay.
But I have had a few over the past couple of weeks. Last week with the snow, I had one that was canceled, which
Okay.
being from Chicago, I'm like, it's just snow. It's not.
Yeah, but I
So
don't want to get my car dirty.
that's,
Okay.
but no, it was like, I don't even want to drive. And I'm like, I'm looking out the window like, well, they plowed our street. We're on a cul-de-sac and we're always last. And for some reason, maybe there was more funds this year because we haven't had anything. They plowed the street. And I'm like, well, the street's clear.
Well, maybe
So
also that is a clue that they got everything done, and now they got to the cul-de-sacs. That would be cool.
yes. And actually they came up the street 3 times, which usually it's one, they usually do it right down the middle. And you're like, could you really, I'll- just like, what's the point? Yeah, we had one year, I will never forget this. My husband and I were talking about this. They usually use pickup trucks on our street because the cul-de-sac was too
Oh,
small.
okay.
Because one year we had one of those big monster trucks with the big plow and the extension on it gets stuck in a snow pile.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
and that was that year we had probably a couple of feet of snow. I mean, it was just constant. That's been several years actually, but yeah.
Well, the other
So,
thing I
but
love so much is I do all of my shoveling. I have been known, I know this will shock you, but I have been known to go out at 9 or 10 at night while the snow is coming down and kind of getting a little lighter, so it's not the big storm. But I'm going to shovel now, and instead of 12 inches tomorrow, I have 6 tonight, 6 tomorrow kind of thing. So that's kind of how I've always done it. And I don't want to do it past that because I don't want to be too noisy for the neighbors. But I literally go out, the snow's kind of coming down just a little, plus it's beautiful. And by the way, so quiet. And when all the
quiet,
street
yeah.
lamps and things like that glisten down on the snow, it really is actually gorgeous. But it's quiet, nobody's around. I shovel the snow and I get the big load off. And then the next day when it comes in again, even if it has snowed some more, I've got a head start. And I look at some of these poor people that haven't started any of it. And literally you go knee deep in snow. And guess what happens then? I get my driveway all perfect.
And then it snows again.
Then the plows come down
Yeah.
and they plow
Push
the
back.
street. So now I've got a mountain at the end of my driveway that's ice usually because those trucks do something. Now I've got to plow through all the ice and snow, 12 inches of that.
See, that's
I
why
know.
we don't shovel that much.
It's probably smarter that you don't.
Well, with, like what, last week we had 2 days in a row and then the temp slowly went up.
Yeah.
I mean, if we live further up north, of course you would be shoveling because it was always cold. But I personally like when it melts and then it freezes and then you have an ice skating rink on the driveway.
Well, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I can see where that would be super fun as well.
So Queenie,
Uh-oh. Yes, Doc.
you last week on the Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women with our fun faithful, let's see, our faithful friend
Go
on
ahead,
purpose,
see if you can do it.
Belinda Lane. I almost got it. Too many titles, too long. You were talking about one-on-ones and what asking people what their criterion was for one-on-ones. And I was curious as to what your criterion is for one-on-ones.
It actually depends on the group, to be honest. If I'm in a group with a lot of people, I usually dangle a carrot. Like, would you like to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Would you like to watch any of my 3 books that are recorded? When I put that out there on the infomercial, if you will, would you like to talk about hydration? Have you ever heard of Kangen water? Whatever those questions turn out to be, if someone reaches out like in the chat and says, I'd like to learn more, then I would probably reach out to them for a one-on-one and see if they remember even having said that, or if they actually do need my help, or if they want me to speak for their organization to do a posting party or a training on YouTube or whatever they want. So those kind of things probably would be the impetus for me to reach out further. Quite frankly, most of the time people would come to me and ask for one-on-one, and then I see how they phrase it. I'd like to learn more about your business. Usually means I'm going to barf mine on you. Because why would they want to learn more about my business if they already have one?
Right.
So it kind of depends on the phraseology piece. And plus you can kind of tell, even actually by looking or paying attention, how engaged they are in the conversation, even in the breakout room. There's a lot actually that goes into it. But for me, it's a matter of, I can't wait to meet everybody. And if I get to meet everybody one-on-one at least once, that warms my heart. And then second, third time around, I would probably go into a different layer. Is this going to turn out to be a collaboration? I usually mention to speakers, please tell me that you don't introduce yourself. And they usually go, what? and I say in a room, even in a Zoom room, please tell me that you don't introduce yourself. And so they're usually puzzled by that, but you always need to have an MC or a person who's going to be able to say, and now Dr. Laura Christine's going to tell us about gardening. Oh my gosh, take it away, Doc. That's how that should be done. But if somebody just starts in and says, I'm this, I'm that, I'm amazing, I'm fabulous, it doesn't have the same impact that it would if someone else did the intro.
Oh, it's kind of a turnoff, and this is kind of related. You just reminded me, I watch a lot of naturopathy educational kinds of documentaries, and they were featuring a
Please send me
world-renowned,
some so I can learn from that.
yeah, I'm sure you'd fall asleep after 5 minutes, but
Oh, gosh.
they had a world-renowned cardiologist, which I'm not going to mention his name. So they did a, here's so-and-so, tell us about yourself. And he did well, I'm a world-renowned cardiologist and I've done this and I've done that. And you're like, turn off. So,
most of the time when you have to tell people how fabulous you are, perhaps you're either not, or it might be better if someone else did your intro. That's such a rough place to be. Honestly, when people ask ahead of time for some of the gigs that I do for, please send me your bio, please send us your this so we can do the promos and all that stuff. When they do it that way, I know there's going to be an intro and that feels less awful. But when they just say, okay, great, pop on at whatever time. And I'm just like, okay, that's probably not going to go well. So that's why I have to kind of ease into whatever I'm going to be training on.
well, and you are so good at training. We have to mention what's happening tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Let's see, tomorrow at 11 a.m. would be February 8th, 11. Is it 11 a.m. Central?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I guess you'll have to tell me.
Well, I hope you're going to be there because you're doing the training. Pretty please. You haven't been on Facebook or LinkedIn?
Yes, I have.
Tomorrow we are going to have a posting party. I'm sponsoring the great Kathy Weaver of Miracles with Water, and she's going to teach us how to do a posting party on LinkedIn.
I am
which
super
is
excited
a
about
lot
that.
of fun. And like you say, it helps us expand our reach. And it's fascinating to watch once you get that ball rolling, how everybody is interconnected, and it's just a fun times.
When I think, and thank you for hosting that as well, Doc, for real, because I feel all of the things that we learn collectively, certainly, or even individually, just like how you teach us with the gardening pieces that you do, you could say, oh, never mind how to do the seeds, or never mind how to do that. You need to call me for a consult. You don't do that. You share, and if somebody needs help bigger, then you can just do speaking like this. And it's the same thing with social media for me. I know some people do it as a business, and that's fantastic. But if I can get the posting party piece handled, then that helps people realize that they're not stuck in their little no comment, no conversation, whatever that looks like. They can get bigger on their own, and then have a trainer, a person that does this as a business, can actually take them to the next level. And that's the part that I love seeing. I didn't know diddly about a posting party last year at this time, actually. And this was my first opportunity, I guess. I found it accidentally online, didn't know what one was, sat back and watched and just kind of wanted to lay low and see what's up. And the next thing you know, I posted hydration is important even to a plant. And I got 894 views. And that was my record at the time for quite a few months. Now it's up to about 1,400 on a different type of post. But it's phenomenal to me how this posting party thing is expanding. I've been able to do these for several people now, several different groups. And it blows my mind that people say, I never knew that. So I just like to put out there 1 second recommendation, create a poll, tag people. Right. Do that and you will see a huge difference just in that amount of.
I've seen a huge difference. I kicked up my networking in the past several weeks.
Yes, you have. Wow.
Within 2 weeks, I've added 56 people to my LinkedIn connections because we're all related.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, you're like, okay. So,
Yeah. And then I actually had a person say, so what? And I went, you might not be the one for that. If your business is global and or even if it's just national, even if it's statewide, even if it's Kansas City market,
even
I would
if it's
still,
local, it's exposure.
I would want to meet more people. And I seriously would. And you never know who knows a who knows a who knows a who knows a. And all of a sudden people are looking for a job. And hopefully all of us know by now, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if somebody's needing a job and you say, I saw that you're connected to on LinkedIn. Yeah. And so it's back to that same drill. I love being the connector for a lot of people. But this lady looked at me and she goes, okay, wonderful. Yay. So what? And I went, oh my gosh. And so of course, then I checked her LinkedIn page. She had a very old profile picture, no timeline banner, zero power statement. And she was doing one of those in her little bio thing. I love helping people with, and it was going on like that. So it was a ramble rather than a power statement. And I thought, well, I don't think this is a good fit for you. And
and anything you do in networking, I mean, at the very least, you're getting practice. That's the way I look at it. You're getting practice to tell people, because the way you phrase things, it attracts to different people. You know, I could say lettuce to one person and they're on it. I could say, you know, romaine to another, and yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, it's an opportunity to practice.
Every time you say romaine, I always think of lettuce wraps. And that just rocks my world because it's like a little boat looking thing. And you stuff it with stuff. And I love those.
Well, we've
got to get spring. We've really got to get some spring going on, because that to me is a very spring salad kind of thing when you put cool stuff in those romaine little boat things. I love that.
So before we go, because we're almost out of time again, Queenie.
You know what? It goes faster every week.
Let me ask you, do you have an ask today for our faithful friends on purpose? Do you have anything to ask for Kathy Weaver?
Probably, that was good. Probably my biggest ask is to please continue to share my YouTube channel so that more and more people subscribe. I am inching closer and closer to the 400 mark now, which blows my mind. Who to thunk it? But my goal for this 2022 is 1,000 subscribers. And I'll let you know all the things that happen when you achieve that goal. But right now I'm really close to 400. And if anybody here could put me over the top, so to speak, I would love that. And Kathy Weaver KC is my platform. So just type that in YouTube and it'll pop right up.
We can't subscribe several times. That's not going to work, is it?
No, Doc. What is your ask?
My ask, I'm just, you know, I'm always looking to help somebody with the gardening. So, and it can be virtual or local. Local is, of course, the KC Metro, and that can be determined. You know, KC Metro, I'm basically 20 minutes, half an hour from everywhere. So,
isn't that the coolest thing about Kansas City? Honestly, you can get anywhere in this town, and people always
say the highway system is fantastic. And, you know, I grew up in a big city, and there's, you know, but yeah, that's my big ask because I've been working on gardening consultations. So it's picking up because it's February, and, you know, by the end of March, I'm going to be swamped, but so we'll see.
It's probably a good swamp, and that's good, Doc.
Yes. So everybody, thank you for joining us today for Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. You can catch us also on Thursday nights. We have a Bible trivia going on at 7 p.m. Don't have to be a Bible scholar. We'd love to have you. Or if you want to join us back here again on Mondays to check out Queenie's social media stuff. Find her at Kathy Weaver KC all over the place, and her website is kathyweaverkc.com. I am Kitchen Garden Expert all over the place on social media, and I am kitchengardenexpert.com. So until next time, have a fantastic week, and I will see you on Thursday, Queenie.
Awesome, Doc. Great to see you today. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.